Yeah, I can hear you.
There. Now can you hear me? Now you can hear me. Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me?
They can hear you. They couldn't hear me. I had to update I had to update OBS and it switched my mic again. So, because of the nature of this particular stream, I had to turn off throws and such because I didn't want to be distracted by things like that right now. Because I'm going to be honest, I've had a really tough week. I don't know if anybody else has been paying attention to the political climate right now that's been happening in the US. I know some of my friends are not US citizens. They don't know, they may not know what's going on. They may not be aware. But right now there is basically a war going on. And I wish I was joking when I say this. There is a war against already targeted minorities. And I really wish I was joking. But it is stressful. It has been one of those things where I had to sit back this week and just kind of take a moment because I couldn't. Like when you reach a point where you can't. It got to be too much. And I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't know what to do. Because the very first thing that we wake up to on Monday is another attack on my ability to be my authentic self, which I have enough trouble with as it is. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, I have enough trouble being my authentic self as it is. I can't transition yet because I have health issues. So I have a lot of trouble coming to terms with that. But when there's barriers that are being placed, blatantly being placed, for absolutely no good reason. And what they said was literally the title, the title of the executive order was defense. It was in the defense of women. And I'm sitting here going, who are you defending though? It's to keep trans women out of women's spaces. Now, I haven't even been able to be honest with my family about being trans, which is sad. My little brother, he's followed me on Twitch. I don't think he's ever watched my channel. If he's ever watched any of my content, he might watch this one and be shocked when he comes across this and sees what he's about to see. But I have never, ever, I've never hid from any of you guys the reality of who I am. The fact that I am not comfortable being labeled as female, as woman, as what, you know, people would like to define me as. But coming up with an executive order, a literal executive order, and this is the part that boggles my mind, a literal executive order that defines sex as only being male and female, completely eliminates intersex people who exist, by the way. They literally exist. It just, I'm sitting here looking at he in his executive order, he completely removes the idea of any idea that gender and sex could be different. That he belittles the idea that gender might be something that needs to be, you know, it just boggles the mind. And I know what's happening. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what's happening. Cat, no, not right now. It's this tactic that do all of these things all at once. It was part of the 50 that he released. Hi, have you found? Welcome in. It was part of the 50 some odd that he released on the first day. And it completely negated everything that I personally have been fighting with my doctors for, fighting with healthcare professionals for, fighting with, you know, my family for, fighting with everyone for. All I want is to be able to be my authentic self, and in one fell swoop he just completely removed that. And that's not even the worst thing he did. See, because doing that opened up a lot of areas for states to now pass all these anti-trans laws. Which, fine, do that, whatever. You know what? You guys do whatever you want to do. Just do whatever. Because nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to get up and stop you. But in the process of doing this, he opened up a lot of areas where states can basically say, you're not a real person. But that's not the trans people aren't the only people he's removing from the argument. He also passed an executive order, and this one's huge. he passed an executive order that removes, completely negates 60 years worth of progress towards equal opportunity employment based on race, gender, disability, based on those basic discriminations. He removed 60 years worth of protection. I wish I was joking when I say this. I legit wish this was a joke. But it's not. He flat out repealed 60 years worth of discrimination protection. And nobody saw problems with it. They're applauding it. They are applauding it. And all I can think is, I'm looking at it going, This is exactly what that whole, they warned us about. Like, everybody was talking about this Project 2025 thing, and they were like, oh no, Trump wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. No, he is doing that. That is exactly what he's doing right now. But nobody took it seriously. Nobody looked at it and said, we should probably watch out for this. It hurts me deeply on a very personal level. As somebody who's disabled, as somebody who is in the minority. Hi, Felicity. Love you. As somebody who is in a minority, as somebody who's dating somebody who's disabled, as somebody who's going to marry somebody who is disabled, this is a big deal. And for anybody who thinks, oh, this is the worst it can get, no, it's not. Trump literally, and this is, I am not joking, he is holding California, and I'm not joking with this. He is holding California hostage. He is basically saying that California has to have voter IDs and release the mythical water that they're holding. I don't know what that means. Before he releases federal funds to help them. I am completely lost as to what that means, but I can guarantee that it doesn't mean anything good. He is breaking the law in an egregious way by demanding a quid pro quo on California. You do something for me, and I'll do something for you. And nobody's holding him accountable for it. Nobody's looking at this going, oh, this might be wrong. Because nobody sees it as wrong. Legitimately, nobody sees the problem. So I'm sitting here just wondering, how far exactly is it going to go? My personal favorite is that he's also, what was it? He's, doing away with FEMA. You know, the people who helped North Carolina get out of the massive problems they were in when the hurricane struck. Yeah, he's doing away with all that. Because why not? He's ending FEMA. He pulled out of the World Health Organization. This man has absolutely no idea what he's doing.
Apparently, the Republicans are already pushing to try to get him a third term.
Yes, the Republicans are already pushing to get him a third term.
But that, I mean, opens up possibilities for, you know, other presidents to get a third term, like Obama.
I mean, it's blatantly unconstitutional, but it opens up the rhetoric of normalizing the idea.
It's never going to happen. Hi, Felicity.
The problem being that once you open the idea, hey! Stop that!
What, you want the rock there?
No, you can do the rock, but you're hitting the ground. You're hitting my dirt that I just lifted up. Yeah, what we're looking at basically is a whole lot of bigotry wrapped up in, well, everybody wants this, right? Hey! Get your tree off my building!
Sorry, wasn't supposed to fall that way. You want my wood?
I have to build beds. So we're looking at a lot of not even potential problems, a lot of actual problems. And the biggest one is that everybody saw these problems coming a mile away. And they voted. People voted for this. People voted for this. Like, my family doesn't understand why I'm keeping my distance right now. They voted for this. I mean, granted, I've always been kind of the oddball in my family, like the odd one out, the kind of take a little bit of pride in that, not being, you know, normal in my family, considering my family. But people actually thought this would be a good idea. And I'm still laughing hysterically at the fact that, I'm sorry, but did anybody see that certain hand signal from a certain supposed genius there? Was anybody else watching this? I mean, come on. And then everybody's like, oh, it's because he has Asperger's. It's because he's autistic. It's because he was being awkward. I'm sorry. I am autistic. I still know not to do that. And he did it twice. Like, what is actually wrong with him? You cannot convince me he didn't know exactly exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. I don't even know what button I just pushed. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what it was, and anybody saying otherwise, nah. I'm sorry, but no. You do not get to sit there and tell me that this man full on did a Yahtzee salute and didn't know what he was doing. And anybody arguing with me on that fact, you know what? They could take their delusions and just, I don't know. It was wild. But this is what we have to look forward to for the next 4 years. And everybody's like, yeah, but it's just 4 years. It's just you just have to put up with it for 4 years. I'm sorry, but let's take a cisgender, heterosexual white man. Okay? Yes, I'm doing this. I can't break the stump. Let's take them, strip them of their sense of self, strip them of their rights, make them the scapegoat for all the problems that the government has caused, make them public enemy number one, spread misinformation about them, remove their right to even have a job, and then tell them, yeah, but it's only going to be for 4 years. You'll be fine. I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. That's not nearly good enough. The fact that he shouldn't have even been able to run because he was an insurrectionist But he got protected by Republicans. Republicans actually protected him. But he's an insurrectionist. He's a literal insurrectionist who got protected. It just sends me into outer space with it. It's like, you're telling me that someone who literally committed the type of crime that makes you ineligible for presidency was allowed to run for presidency because the Republican Party removed the very thing that disallowed him to run for president. That's what this amounts to. It's so much wrong with everything that's happening. And the fact that so many people are just missing it. They're not seeing the bigger picture. I'm gonna get flattened by trees. And I have the most supportive friends that I mean, my friends, I'm going to be honest, the group of friends that I have found here have been super supportive, and they know me for the true self that I am. And I know that they get it. They get it. What really hurts is the fact that I can't look my family in the eye and know that they get it. Because quite honestly, they don't. The greater majority of the population don't. And that's just how it'll be. All right, let me...
See, the thing for me is, I've always taken things like this for, you know, in the past. I've taken it as that's how the world is. I've never really batted an eyelash at it until it starts truly affecting somebody that I love and care for. And when, I mean, how it affects me, I've never really cared about. I've never, like, targeting people with disabilities. It's, to me, it never bothered me until it starts affecting you. And when it's affecting you, and I'm aware of this, that's when it angers me.
See, we're gonna go through some of these. I'm gonna show you guys some of the things that he's done. These are the executive orders that he has revoked. February 11th, 1994, the federal actions to address environmental justice in minority populations and low-income populations. Executive order from August 18, 2011, establishing a coordinated government-wide initiative to promote diversity and inclusion in the federal workforce. Executive order from July 21st, 2014. Further amendments to executive order equal employment opportunity in the federal government and executive order, whichever one that was, equal employment opportunity. Presidential Memorandum of October 5th, 2016, promoting diversity and inclusion in the national security workforce. Executive order from September 24th, 1965. The equal employment opportunity is hereby revoked. Equal employment opportunity is hereby revoked. The Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs within the Department of Labor shall immediately cease promoting diversity. Holding federal contractors and subcontractors responsible for taking affirmative action. And allowing or encouraging federal contractors and subcontractors to engage in workforce balancing based on race, color, sex, sexual preference, religion, or national origin.
So basically it's saying, if you want to have your company filled with straight white men, you're allowed to do that.
It's now legal to do. Terminate all diversity, equity, equitable decision-making, equitable deployment of financial and technical assistance, advancing equity, and like mandates, requirements, programs, or activities as appropriate. I'm sorry, but what? And that is the legitimately the exact wording. I'm not misquoting, I'm not paraphrasing, that is the exact wording. And if anybody else is as disturbed as I am by that, or better yet, if you're not as disturbed as I am by that, because there's some serious problems there. And I'm pretty sure anybody with half a brain is going to see the problems. I'm gonna get killed by pigs. I got killed by pigs. Don't Hail Warrior me when I'm dead. Yes, I turned off us losing our shit. I get tired of losing our shit. Get over here, pig. But Flisky, I'm sure it can't get any worse than that. That's as bad as it can get. Oh no. No, it is not. I genuinely wish that was as bad as it could get. Let me get back to the house for a second. This one's my favorite. Unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. It is the policy of the United States to fully avail itself of Alaska's vast lands and resources for the benefit of the nation and American citizens who call Alaska home. If it is efficiently and effectively maximize the development and production of the natural resources located on both federal and state lands within Alaska. Expedite and permitting the leasing of energy and natural resources projects in Alaska, and prioritize the development of Alaska's liquefied natural gas potential, including the sale and transportation of Alaskan LNG, liquefied natural gas, to other regions of the United States and allied nations within the Pacific region. Do you know what that means? That means...
Let's harvest Alaska and destroy it.
Yes. That means taking state and government set-aside lands, like National Wildlife Refuge, which, by the way, they're rescinding the lease of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. And they're giving that to the Coastal Plain Oil and Gas companies, so that they could take this National Wildlife Refuge and turn it into... They can mine it for oil and gas. I wish I was joking. They're also removing the offshore wind on the Outer Continental Shelf. Removing the offshore wind so people can fish there. Because the United States fishing program is in danger. while also, by the way, declaring a national energy emergency. Do you remember when somebody threw a shoe at President Bush? They threw a
George
shoe at...
W. Bush.
Yeah, I wish somebody would throw a shoe at him. He tried to, this one didn't go through, by the way. They immediately sued to get this one revoked. He tried to remove, American birthright, where if you're born in the United States, you're an American citizen. That one didn't go through. That one didn't stick. I'm not even joking on that one. Declaring a national emergency at the southern border of the United States. I love this one. American sovereignty is under attack. Our southern border is overrun by cartels, criminal gangs, known terrorists, human traffickers, smugglers, unvetted military-aged males from foreign adversaries. Unvetted military-aged males. You mean guys anywhere from the age of 18 to 60? And illicit narcotics that harm Americans, including America. This invasion has caused widespread chaos and suffering in our country over the last 4 years. Really, just the last 4 years? You don't say. Only the last 4 years. Just the last... Really? Do go on. It has led to the horrific and inexcusable murders of many innocent American citizens, including women and children, at the hands of illegal aliens. Foreign criminal gangs and cartels have begun seizing control of parts of cities, attacking our most vulnerable citizens and terrorizing Americans beyond the control of local law enforcement. Cartels control vast territories just south of our southern border, effectively controlling who can and cannot travel to the United States from Mexico. Really? You think so? Hundreds of thousands of Americans have tragically died from drug overdoses because of the illicit narcotics that have flowed across the southern border. Really? This assault on the American people and the integrity of the American sovereign borders represents a grave threat to our nation. Because of the gravity and the emergency of this present danger and imminent threat, it is necessary that the armed forces to take all appropriate actions to assist the Department of Homeland Security in obtaining full operational control of the southern border. So he's deploying troops to the southern border because apparently illegal immigrants have been unaliving people, have been the illegal drug cartels or something. I don't know. What? Like, what? Oh, he granted pardons to the people on the January 6th thing. That's just a whole nother mess. That is a whole other mess.
Pardoned over 1,200 people that were even people that had
even people, yeah, even people who were violent and assaulted officers and like, yeah, literally horrible guy. Like horrible guys that he just pardoned. Oh, and he made an executive order that flying the flag at full staff on Inauguration Day. By the way, it was also Martin Luther King, day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So, flags were flown at half staff, as you do on that day. But he made an executive order that the flags had to be flown at full staff on Inauguration Day. The narcissism flows strongly in this one. Oops, I hit the house. I feel cold. I need to make myself pants.
Running around without pants.
Yeah, I do that. All the things that have happened just... I mean, I'll be honest, the average person probably wouldn't even notice most of it. Most people are going to hear, oh, he signed 50 executive orders on his first day? That's weird. Not going to realize what half of them are. Are not going to bother to take the time to go and look. As someone who... these things... definitely matter to. I have to go look. Come on. Break log. The biggest thing I think that really hurts is the sheer inability to... the removal of the rights to just be myself. And I know most people aren't going to understand that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, why can't you just be yourself? Well, my authentic self is unfortunately not who I am right now. And who I am right now is kind of stuck. until a point in time when I can actually get medically cleared to transition. But normalizing the conversation around removing the rights and making trans people basically enemies of the state. Basically the people who, you know, we have become the people who and I hate to say it like this, we have become in the like in the 80s and 90s it was gay people. People hated on the gays. And then people started accepting the gays and it moved on to like the drag queens. Now people still don't like drag queens, but you know, they don't really care anymore. Because now they have a new enemy. Those delusional people who think they're the wrong gender. The most hilarious part about it all is I have absolutely no qualms with being an enemy of the state. This is not a problem for me. Hey, people want to hate me? It's not the first time it's happened. I went to high school. Ah, that might have been morbid. But it's true. I went to high school. I was popular in high school because I was unpopular. So being disliked and being a black sheep, not anything new. But this is what people voted for. This is what people said. And it reminds me of that, you know, that Star Wars, Amidala said it. It was, and this is how democracy ends, with thunderous applause. Because that's literally what's happening here. I know, we got really political up in here. Warned you we were going to. But life has just been super stressful. I'm going to show you how I cheat to do this. How many pieces of wood do I have? No bow, no problem. You destroy the house and the beehive breaks. No arrows needed. And for anyone wondering why I don't just, you know, ignore all of this, because there's no way this is gonna stick. It's the fact that just by saying it, it's normalizing the conversation. What you're doing is you enter it into the conversation, and it becomes something that people stop being shocked by. And when that happens, it gets said more. And the more normalized something is, the more something is said. The more we make something out to be understandable or okay to say. It's just a joke. It's not actually going to happen. The more you normalize it, the more likely it is that things are going to happen. Many, many bad things. I got my B. I got my B, that's all that matters. The conversation we need to normalize is fighting back against this stuff. We need to normalize this stuff not being okay. Somebody I follow on Blue Sky posts regularly about punching Yahtzees in the face. Has merch about it too. It's okay to punch Yahtzees. I agree. We normalize that kind of conversation. Not the punching people, you know. Don't land on the house. Exactly. No Yahtzee should go unpunched. It's just the way it should be. See, this is my rule of thumb. Do they have a punchable face? Because if they do, I'm likely gonna punch it. Oh, but he's an autistic Yahtzee. Did I ask?
You want some of my meat?
Do you have any, leather scraps?
Just a sec. Yes, I have 8 of them.
And what about deer hide?
I've got 10.
Okay.
I'll put the leather scraps in there. I'll put the deer hide once you grab them.
See, here's my theory. See, my theory is that,
There you go.
my theory is that he's, because his autistic diagnosis seems to only pop up when he does something in particularly, questionable. which I find sus. So I definitely wonder. Is it that he's autistic, or is he just dumb?
He's autistic by convenience. Meaning he's autistic when he needs to use it as an excuse.
See, I know Felicity. Felicity has the best sort of autism, the best ADHD I've ever seen. She has the type that, okay, so her type of like focus is completely insane. I've seen it. It's insane. But at the same time, like when she gets focused, if she gets tickled by something, that's it. It's all over. Playing Lethal Company and you say anything about ass, that's it. It's done. That's all the puns for the next half an hour. They're all ass jokes for the next half an hour. But she has to assert her dominance. This is what we call passive aggressive. heard it. Where is it? But never in the many, what was it? But almost 3 years? Going on 4 years that I've known her? Has she ever used her autism to explain away any potentially inappropriate or anything like that? She's never used it as oh, I'm autistic. You have to you can't make those assumptions about me. Oh, no, let's not go that way. You can't say those things about me. I'm autistic. Never has she done that. It's almost as if she has, I don't know, what do we call that? What's the word for that? Oh dear. Oh yeah. Both self-regulation and, well, not just common sense. Is that she has self-regulation and she can honestly stand up and say, oops, I did something wrong. I should take personal accountability for that. It's a wonderful thing. I do understand that personal accountability isn't exactly easy for everybody. Mostly because, like, sometimes you don't understand when you've made a mistake. But I'm sorry, when it's that blatantly obvious that you done fucked up, I don't know.
I've gone and erased autism.
And sometimes, yeah, people have to point out that I did a no-no because I'm it's a brick wall. I'm a little mid-fault and apologize. Like, I have the, okay, I will admit I have these arguments with Dolston at times because I don't always see when I done fucked up. Like I don't always realize when I done fucked up. So sometimes we get into an argument that are 100% my fault. 100% my fault. And I don't realize it. And it takes a little bit for me to realize, it'll take quite a bit for me to realize, oh yeah, this is 100% my fault. And it's hard, honestly hard for me to be like, oh yeah, this is 100% my fault. But it's like, once you get to that realization, and that realization does hit, you do get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is my bad. I'm sorry. And I'm going to throw him under the bus. He's done it too. Although he is, I will admit, much quicker on the uptake to figure out when something, like when he needs to apologize than I am. He is much quicker on the uptake. Lint.
You need flint? I've got flint.
Yeah, I need flint.
I mean, I've only got 4, but...
That's enough. I will admit, morbidly interested to see where this shit show goes. Because let's be honest, who isn't? Hi, kitten. What? I'd rather be watching from the outside. I'd rather be watching from some place where I'm not being directly affected. I mean, right now it's bad enough that I have to actively fight with my doctors in order to get the basic care that I need. If I was open with them about the reality of my situation, I'd get shut down on half of the medical care that I require. as it stands, I have to deal with tremendous back pain because I can't find a doctor who will assist me in having reduction surgery, which is absolutely bonkers. And I'm not joking when I say my gyno is one of those that literally believes that all females were born to have children, no matter what. Even if their bodies are telling them no. So it's like, while I sit here and deal with... Yeah. See, that's the thing is, I've stayed the same weight for the past 12 years, and mine just keeps going up. And my doctor says, well, that's what happens when you gain weight. And I'm like, but I'm not gaining weight. I'm not gaining any weight. So please explain it to me. But he refuses. Yes, kitten, how can I help you? Would you like drugs? I'm gonna give my cat some drugs. Come here. There's some drugs. If anybody says anything, it's catnip. It's cat drugs. She loves her some cat drugs. Sprinkle them in her bed and she's good to go. She really does. I hear a beehive somewhere. But I saw another pig. Where'd it go? Oh well. Yes, I actually have. And I've already done a whole bunch on the island. Like, I finished all the way up to the I'm waiting for like the next part of the quests on the island release in like 4 days. I've collected like 40 something balloons. I've unlocked all the caves. I may have gone a little ham, okay? Yeah, it took me a bit to figure out how those Essling balloons worked. That if you shoot the balloon... Oh yeah, all the chaos happened, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And then they were like, oh, we're being attacked. I'm like, oh. This is still cool. Like, not me going, oh, this isn't cool. But it kind of is. I think the only thing that's bothered me so far about the the new stuff is that I've got to wait for 5 days for the next part of the quest. I'm like, dude, I just want to breeze through this because that's how I do things. Let me do things. And the game was like, no, you must wait. And I'm just like, don't time gate me. Oh no! I fell asleep inside the bed. Well, they underestimated me. Oop. Keep hitting the wrong button. Oh, there's one. No, pig. But why aren't you breeding them? Because they must die. I'm just wondering if this week is this stressful, how stressful is next week gonna be? Because this is just week 1. Like, and I made myself the resolution that, you know, I would keep up with streaming and not fall behind, not skip days, and try to keep my schedule. But then it's like, stuff like this happens and things get impossible. Mental health gets threatened. Just ain't cool. Yes, I do take my mental health quite seriously. I kind of have to. Well, Mushrooms, you're adorable. I hate to break you up, but I need to bring you home. And they were shroom mates. I think one day things won't be such a complete shit show. Today's not that day. I need more wood. Oh, feathers. Oh, I can shoot deer now. That poor deer. It didn't even see it coming. Pigs! How did you see me? Well, that was a shot. But yeah, next week I'm gonna try to do Palace. I gotta start over at floor 1 again. I'm gonna try to do it. It'd probably be good to get back into it. What the? Stupid deer. Both of those shots should have hit. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into doing Palace, and that'll probably be Tuesday. Let me check my calendar real quick. No, Palace will be Monday. Won't be streaming Tuesday. I will probably do a stream Wednesday and possibly Thursday. I don't know, it depends on how I'm feeling mental health wise. It's gonna be a long upcoming few weeks when determining what all is, you know, like we need to take care of each other and help each other out, and definitely all of us do our best to be understanding and patient. Especially when it comes to people who may be struggling with the current events that are happening. Because some things just, they really get to you. So I think that's all I'm gonna stream today because my throat hurts. And I'm getting excessively warm. I'm gonna go turn the thermostat down. I want to see who we're gonna raid out to. Possibly Professor Ethical. I think that looks good. So, Professor Ethical is playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right now. So thank you everybody for joining. I know this was a crazy stream, probably a little out there, but the VOD will be up. I'm posting this to YouTube. Definitely a lot of strong opinions. I understand some of you may not agree with everything, but understand that my channel is definitely a safe place for everybody. And if you can't agree with that much, then I don't know. I'm just gonna ask, like, what? Why are you joining me here? Because I'm definitely, I'm definitely very open with who I am and what kind of morals I have. So, thank you everybody for joining me. Yes,
Love you all.
Love you all. We're gonna raid out to make sure that raid has been okay. There we go. Okay. And we'll see everybody later. Okay, bye.